don't make this mistake, ladies and gentlemen. I have completely, basically bricked my character at this point. I'm playing the Bone Spear build, and unfortunately, when you're playing this build, you do want one of the Malignants. Now, is it possible to play without this Malignant? Absolutely. Is it the best quality of life change for the necro? Absolutely. Unfortunately, I bricked it. So let's talk about it so that way you guys don't make the same mistake I did. All right, so what am I talking about? So first things first, when you pull up your character here, now there are a few things to take note of. Obviously, we do have Malignants in this season. This is a season 1 mechanic. I am playing the Necro Bone Spear build. I'm actually following Rob's build from Max Roll. It's very good, it's very strong. I'm enjoying it. It's very easy to get going. One of the things to take note of though is one of the Malignants that you want to get is actually one that actually automatically applies your corpse skills. What does this mean? This means that there is a particular particular modifier that if you were to equip it, it will automatically do your corpse tendrils for you, as well as automatically do your corpse explosion. It's going to alternate between the two every time you walk near an enemy. That particular skill on the Necromancer is extremely broken, and it's actually called what is it? The Sacrilegious, which is a Sacrilegious. Yeah, Sacrilegious, that's what it is. Walking near a corpse automatically activates an equipped corpse skill every second, dealing 30 to 40% reduced damage. The damage isn't what to take note of. It's the fact that you don't have to click to detonate a corpse or apply a tendrils. So then it allows you to group them together, stun them, makes it easier for you to kill them, right? However, my thought was, and what I didn't realize, this is a fault of my own, I should have known this mechanic. When I equip these, like if I were to drop this over here, I assumed, just like gear, it would flip-flop them. Or just like gems, it would flip-flop them. It does not do that, okay? For example, if I had a purple item, which I don't think I have, I could equip both of these to it and they would both be gone and equipped to the item. You cannot unequip the Malignant from the piece of gear. So what does that also mean? That means that, for example, I can't unequip this Brutal Heart here and transfer it to another one. Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. So I just bricked my build because I wanted to use this ring. So it's like, okay, it's fine. I'll take one of my other ones and I'll just apply it to this one, swap them out, and then I'll take that one and I'll put it in this ring so that way I can equip it, right? Absolutely wrong. Unfortunately, I can't do that. It doesn't work like that at all. It's actually the opposite of that. When you apply another Malignant Heart onto a current item that already has a modified slot, it actually takes that information and overrides it. So you lose it, right? So at this point, I have bricked my build. Now, what are some ways that you can remedy this? One, make sure you keep extras. Always keep extras just in case, right? Especially as you're moving up the leveling tier, right? As you're moving up the hierarchy, and this is going to go for your ults too when you get to that point. You want to make sure you're being consistent and have the necessary aspects and malignants to really make it up the build. So you want to keep duplicates, and it's okay to have ones that don't necessarily pertain exactly to what you need for your build, because you may get a temporary upgrade, right? Like right now I'm in a temporary upgrade state, so I'm not embedding any of my gems or any of that because I'm moving so fastly and I'm swapping out gear so quick that's just not worth it, right? Same thing for Malignants. However, this particular Malignant does make or break the build. One thing that you can kind of take away from this and maybe recover from, my particular build doesn't really require any of these purple Malignants, okay? So I can get rid of both of these. These are not ones that I'm gonna be using. So what I can do is I can come over here and I can go ahead and salvage both of them. Boom, boom. This gives me a little bit of this Malignant Ichor, and then from here I can craft some. Now, unfortunately, I need it to be a caged heart is what I need on my particular build here. So we can gamble. I get one chance to gamble, and this is from all the Malignants that I've sacrificed so far. So if we go ahead and we click on this, we can go ahead and craft one and let's see what we got. And we didn't get the one we needed. We actually got a different one. Critical strikes electrically charged enemies. This is not the one we need. RNG was not in my favor. I could not save my build, but do bear in mind that your storage is going to get full very quickly if you start saving all these malignants. Even though, yes, you may not be doing a whole lot of dungeons, do take note. The only ones you get malignants on are going to be the ones that have this green little leaf here. See how it says malignant enemies? You want to run these particular dungeons to get the malignants. Don't think that you can run any dungeon and get it, or any nightmare dungeon and get them. You have to make sure that they are the actual green flagged ones here. These are the ones that will give you malignants. But you can take those malignants, and if it's one that you can't use, like I could salvage this one and this one here. Actually, you know what? Let's try that and see what that does for me. If I salvage that one and that one, does it give me enough? Not really. It still leaves me quite a ways away, unfortunately. I could go for an uncertain heart here, which would give me, contains a random caged heart with a chance of a wraithful heart. You know what? Let's try gambling for the sake of a YouTube video. And see what we get. Caged heart. Hey, there we go. Walking near a corpse automatically activates an equipped corpse skill. That's exactly what I'm looking for. And actually that is perfect. I've now officially unbricked my build if I equip it on this one right here. Now what I'm actually going to do, because that's the mistake I made before, because I thought I could swap it out, right? So if I would have just done that, and I'm doing this as an example, right? If you were a viewer who was about to do the same exact thing as I did, where you're like, hey, I can unbrick my build, I can get this one here. Don't forget that you may have the wrong one already equipped because you made the same mistake I did. Make sure that you put it on the right one. So in this case, I'm gonna throw it over here onto this blood orb legendary. Then I'm gonna drag that up there, and boom. Now it's equipped, and I have my legendary also equipped. I've now unbricked my build essentially. Now this will allow me to do a lot more damage. Unfortunately, this is 33% out of the 28 minimum. It doesn't really matter. You're not looking for damage. Like I said, you're looking for the CC out of this. You're looking for the auto procking. This way you never run out of essence. That's the key factor of utilizing this particular malignant for this build. Now, once again, unfortunately, this is kind of where we're at, and this one here, we can't do anything about this current one, so I'm gonna go salvage this ring here, unfortunately. But definitely make sure that you don't stockpile your inventory. Also, pay attention to your build. Notice that I have 2 yellow and then a blue here as far as like the color scheme for the sockets. That's because that's what my particular build is gonna use. Make sure if you don't have one of those on your build, if you're following a build guide, for example, that has it labeled, don't worry about it, right? So sacrifice and destroy those aspects every time. Like come over here to the bench and go ahead and salvage them every single time, because there's no reason to keep on them. Yes, I do understand that depending on what next build you do, you may want them. It may make a difference, sure. But if you are someone who is trying to progress up the ladder, especially at season start, you don't want to necessarily keep that in mind. You don't want to keep thinking, oh, I'm going to have an alt later, right? And the reason being is because if you don't prioritize your main character and you're always thinking about your alternative character, you may not make it there. You may not make it there at all. You may get, okay, well, I'm gonna make it to this portion here. Oh crap, I never made my goal, so I never started my old player. So then saving all those extra resources, what did that do you? Absolutely nothing. It did you no good whatsoever, unfortunately. Now, that's something just to take note of. So make sure that you go ahead and salvage the ones that you aren't using. It's not gonna hurt you. Get your build going first and then worry about your late game build later, okay? Just so that way you get to enjoy the game and have a lot more fun as you progress through the campaign, storyline, and or dungeons. You know the deal, right? You know the drill. It's an ARPG game. Go have fun. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this video. Hopefully this helped you so that way you don't make the same mistake I did. I was fortunate enough that I unbricked unbricked it. It's there. We're good. GG. It took 2 chances, 2 RNG spots, and we got it. But it doesn't make my build fully complete. I still do need more Legos, obviously. I do need also some more Malignants to make this build work better. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully you don't make the same mistakes I do. And yeah, if you did, make sure to like and subscribe. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.